Women in Islam. I've seen many articles written by Muslims, and even Muslim women. They all try to fool us saying that we need to separate Islam and the culture of Muslims. We are not going to talk about culture, and to make it clear from the start, we will not mix Islam and culture. Remember, Muslims who read my words, the coming reference is not from culture, but from 1 Quran verses on women, 2 Muhammad's hadith, or sayings, about women, 3 Muhammad's laws and orders over women, 4 cultural talk, 5 Islamic references and Islamic courts approve. Women should not remove facial hair, or they will end in hellfire. From Sahih al-Bukhari, Volume 6, Book 60, Hadith 408. Allah curses those women who remove their facial hair, in order to look more pretty, trying to change Allah's creation. Does that mean all Muslim women will end in hell? All Arab women are hairy, as are Arab men, so to make Allah happy, women have to grow a beard and mustache? The funny thing is that Muhammad's excuse was that these women were changing the look which Allah gave to them, but then Muhammad turned around and ordered them to shave their vaginas. Muhammad even colored his own hair with henna, making it red. See Sahih al-Bukhari, Book 56, Hadith 668, and Sahih al-Bukhari, Book 72. Hadith 786. Hadith 786. Abu Hurairah reported, Allah's Messenger said, the Jews and the Christians, they do not dye their gray hair, so you Muslims have to do the opposite of what they do, so dye your gray hair and beards. Why is Muhammad doing something just to be opposite of the Christians and the Jews? He cursed women who tried to change their look by removing their facial hair, but at the same time it was okay for the men to dye theirs. This hadith proves that Muhammad was creating rules, not because they were righteousness, or about wrong or right, but just to oppose the Christians and the Jews. Sahih Muslim, Book 024, Hadith 5243. His head and his beard were so white, alike as hyssop. Therefore, he, Allah's Messenger, instructed the women whom the color of his hair should be changed. So they are ordered to do something about it and change it. Why is Muhammad's beard's color is so important to a man whose main focus in life is supposed to be Islam and Allah? Women as witnesses. First of all, I need to inform you that women in Islam can be witnesses in court only in cases of a money contracts or agreements, but this does not include witnessing for any kind of inheritance or crime. This means women are not accepted as witnesses in court in all of the following cases: 1 crime, killing, theft, etc. Book of Bidayh al-Sani, Volume 9, p. 4079. Women are not accepted as witnesses in all kinds of crimes that come with punishment. 2 adultery, Quran 24, 4. Interpretation of al-Qurtubi, he said, in his interpretation of the Almighty saying, and bring 4 witnesses on them, in case of adultery, he said the witnesses must be males only, and all the nation agrees about that. 3 idolatry. 4 divorce or marriage, Book of Al-Mughni by Ibn Qudama, Volume July 8. No marriage is accepted by 1 man witness and 2 women agreed with that. Nuka'i, and Al-Shafi'i and Al-Oza'i. Inheritance, Quran 5:10-6. O you believers, authorize the testimony between you, when death come to you, at the time of an inheritance be that of 2 men. Witness of among you. Tafsir Ibn Kathir. Publisher Tabot, 2002, Volume 3, p. 217. Ibn Jarir said, it's not allowed or accepted to have non-Muslims as witness either in the city or in travel. Book of Fro al-Fiqh by Imam Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i, 1990. Printing by D.T., p. 17. It meant the free believers, not slaves, and the 2 verses interpretation, it's forbidden to accept the witnessing of Christians and Jews. Fatwa, answers according to Islamic law. Date June 19, 2001, from.islamweb.net, Fatwa number 591. The question, can women be witnesses for marriage 1 man and 2 women or 4 women? 4 women? The answer. It's not allowed for women to be witnesses in case of marriage or any criminal cases needing punishment, or marriage or divorce. You can see the Islamic answer in this link, Arabic. http://www.islamweb.net/ber2/fatwa. Option equal fatwa ID and lang equal a and ID equal 591. Mohsin Khan's translation, Quran 5:10-6. O you who believe, when death approaches any of you, and you make a bequest, then take the testimony of 2 just men of your own folk or 2 others from outside, while you are traveling through the land and death befalls on you. Detain them both after as-salat, the prayer, then if you are in doubt about their truthfulness, let them both swear by Allah saying, we wish not for any worldly gain in this, even though he, the beneficiary, be our near relative. We shall not hide testimony of Allah, for then indeed we should be of the sinful. I can cite many other similar examples showing how Muslims have been ordered to reject a woman being a witnessing person in anything, except the case of a contract for a debt for a fixed period in writing, or things for which men cannot be witnesses because they are only about women, such as in a woman telling about her period. This means that in Islam, Muslim women are not accepted as witnesses in 99% of cases. She is perceived of very lowly as a person, but better than a Christian man. In Islam all non-Muslims are unacceptable as witnesses, not trusted, nor to be taken as a friend, as we see in Quran 3:28, 118, 551, and 61. Remember, Muslims who read my words, the coming reference is not from culture, but from Quran 2:28-2. Whenever you Muslims contract with each other, in money trades get 2 witnesses, out of your own men. Moreover, if there are not 2 men, then a man and 2 women, such as ye select for witnesses, so that if one of them, women, is misguided the other can remind her. 1 From this verse we learn that 2 men are the norm for witnessing in Islam. In case there is only 1 man and women to witness, then the rule is as follows. A 10 billion women will not be accepted as witnessing persons, for they must have at least 1 man with them. This clearly reveals how Islam looks at women. It's as though they are not fit for the simple task of witnessing. It does not matter how many there are, if there's not at least 1 male witness, then the number of women does not count, even if there are 10 million women. B. Also notice that there are no conditions for the man, or men, that are accepted as witnesses. This means that any 2 men are good to do the job, but in the case of women, they have to be approved. Most women are not approved in Islam. In other words, we have to choose the ones we think are the best of the junk of womankind. Let us look at the hadith and see how Muhammad used this verse to proclaim his judgment over women as bad and deficient in intelligence. Notice what he says in Sahih al-Bukhari, Book 6, Hadith 301. Reported by Abu Said al-Khudri, once before the Prophet went out to the mosque to pray on the holy day, which is the end of fasting month of Ramadan. Prayer. Then he walked by some women and said to them, you women, give charity, for I have seen that the majority of the residents of hellfire was you women. The women said, why is that, Allah's Prophet? He answered, you do curse frequently and are ungrateful to your husbands, and I have never seen any deficient in intelligence of brain and religion more than you. You influenced the faithful man astray. Afterwards the women asked, O Allah's Prophet, what is our deficiency in our intelligence and religion? He said, answering, it is not correct that the evidence of 2 women is equal to the witness of 1 man. Quran 2:28-2. They replied, confirming, agreeing. He said, this is the deficiency in her intelligence. Isn't it true that a woman is not permitted in either case to pray nor to fast during her period? The women replied in the confirming. He said, this is the deficiency in her religion. In this hadith things are getting uglier, and from it we learn the following. A. All women are suffering from deficiency in their intelligence, with no exceptions. B. The majority of women who are in hellfire are there because they are bad. They always curse a lot and they are not grateful to their husbands. This means they always curse a lot and they are not grateful to their husbands. This means that women are always to blame for the bad, and the men are the ones that are always good. To the point that most of hell's occupants are women, not men. See, women should not fast or pray because they have menses, menstruation or period. This makes women lower than men, because women will not be able to do the duty of worshipping Allah. D. After he mentioned the disability of women to pray and to fast in their menses, he says, this is the deficiency in her religion. It's time for me to ask Muslims a few questions. If Allah is the one who created women the way they are, why would Allah punish them by sending them to hellfire? If they are not given equal brains, as the Quran claims, to do the same task as men, is that justice, or is it a claim made for the benefit men? Islam is made by man for the man. If the claimed imperfection is Allah's fault, why do the women have to pay for it? Is not being bad part of their imperfection or because of their design? Why are they to blame for it? Did Allah know about this deficiency of women when he created them, or did he find out later? Same as Toyota Motor Company, if he is God, can't he make a recall and fix them all? Change the brain maybe? On top of that, all I have to say to Muhammad and his followers is, if Islam teaches you to respect your mother, how dare you say such a thing to your mother who risked the loss of her life to give birth to you? If we ask a husband and a wife, after they come back from a party, to describe for us the details of the food and clothes, or whatever may have happened during that night, we would see that the man might not even remember what he ate on his dinner plate, but the woman could give all the amazing details that the man would not have even noticed. That's a proof, without reading books of science, that the Quran is man-made. Made by the man, for the man. Science teaches there are differences, for sure, between men and women. Like, for example, men are good in some things and women are better in something else. I will quote this from ScienceDaily.com. Psychologists Agneta Hurlitz and Jenny Renman in Stockholm, Sweden, asked an even more complicated question of human predisposition: does one's sex influence his or her ability to remember everyday events? Their surprising findings did in fact determine significant sex differences in episodic memory, a type of long-term memory based on personal experiences, favoring women. This means even science proves Allah wrong. Do you remember that Allah said, the woman is not good in witnessing in court? Being a witness in the court requires long-term memory. Science says women are better than men in that task.